give me direction on how many allocation or how many vaccines will be sent to my office, hopefully next week. Now that our plans all hinge on if I get 100 doses or I get 300 doses or I get 900 doses. It's our planning goes around how many doses I have in my hot little hands.
Okay. So do you have any idea when these vaccines will be in your extremely warm hands?
I am hoping, so usually what happens is we get a notification on Monday or Tuesday that IDPH is sending us or has allocated vaccine to us. So for instance, Monday we got a notice that said, you're getting some vaccine. This is for to the second shot of the people that are in 1A. And so then we accept it. And then usually next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it is shipped out. It's usually shipped out on Monday, and then we get the vaccine usually on Tuesday or Wednesdays. And so then we can at least plan. So that vaccine that's coming next week, we already have plans next week to get people their second shots next week that vaccine is scheduled for.
All right, Kari Prescott's our guest, and she's with the Webster County Department of Public Health. So are you the absolute ruler of the Webster County Public Health Department, or what is the deal?
Well, I'm the director of the health department.
Okay.
Yep. So have been here for, 20 some years. So yes, not as the director, but the last 10, 11, 12 years been the director.
Right. Yeah. You trained as a nurse, correct?
No, I am actually not a nurse. I have a degree in a business and a degree in sociology.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you get those at Iowa State or?
You know what? I went through Iowa Central first and got the AA, and then I went on to Buena Vista, which allowed me to stay in the community and work and attend at night.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people ask how they know when it's their turn to get the vaccination. How do they know?
Yep.
Or will they know?
Yep. So we, what the governor did today is she tiered additional priority groups for us. So tier 1. So because we are so limited on the vaccine, we will be focused on 65 and older will be our primary focus. And then she tiered first responders and our school staff and our early education staff in the county. So we've already been diligently connecting with our schools, our daycare centers, our child care centers, our AEAs. We've been working with them already today to find out how many people they would like to receive the vaccine. We've sent out consent forms. So we're actively getting all prepared so that when that vaccine comes, we can distribute it pretty quickly. How people will know, like the first responders, we will directly contact those entities when we have a cluster of entities like that. So the police, DHS is in there, social workers. We have a pretty good feel of where they are in the community, so we will reach out independently. The challenge for us will be the 65 and older. So we have a Zoom meeting set up tomorrow with our pastors to ask their assistance if they could perhaps filter through their congregation anybody 65 or older and assist us with getting the word out to their people that attend the churches that they are the leaders of. We have connections to elderly apartments and elderly living areas in town, so we're working with those compound managers to get vaccine and get information there. And then anybody that we're working with with our own social media, word of mouth. We'll put it in the newspapers. We'll put flyers up. So we have like this QR code that we can use for anybody that is socially proficient on their smartphones. Or we will have a telephone line, a backdoor number that comes right directly into the health department, so it bypasses our normal number for questions and an answer. We'll be staffing that with our staff to assist people to get an appointment made, answer any questions. We'll have an online opportunity. We will work with AEA, or not AEA, the AAA, the Elder Bridge. We'll work with Community Foundation. We'll work with banks. I mean, we have a very robust communication plan. But again, the key is going to be, if I only have 100 doses, that plan will be tailored down very, very quickly.
Okay. All right. Kari Prescott's been our guest. She, of course, is with Webster County Public Health. I just want you to clear up something for me.
Yeah.
There's a rumor around that prisoners are a high priority, that prisoners get moved to the front of the line. Is that true?
You know what? The prisoner system and the federal prisons are not on my radar. That is all arranged through the governor's office and the Department of Corrections. But our department would be responsible for like the jail here in town,
right?
The halfway house.
Are they a priority item on your list there?
They would be. They're in 1B, but they are tier 5, and I have tier 5. I have 5 tiers, so they would be the last tier of phase 1 of phase 1B.
Okay, thank you, Kari.
Yeah.
All right, this is AM 1400 KVFD, the voice for Dodge, and joining me now is News and Sports Director Rob Jones. Rob, what the hell are you doing here so late in the day?
I'm here
You've
pretty
been
much
here,
all the time.
I was going to say, you might as well move in.
Well, if there was a bedroom and a shower, I probably would and save myself the rent because I'm never at my apartment.
You got something going on. What's going on?
I do. And I'm glad Kari cleared that up for you because I had some information on that too.
All
because
right.
I've had my eye on that, but she did a good job on that of that last question especially. But what I'm here to talk about, Mike, the IHSAA's Board of Control met today to discuss state wrestling tournament. There
Iowa
was,
State High School Athletic Association.
Right. The Iowa High School Athletic Association met today, their Board of Control, and they talked about the state wrestling tournament. There had been some speculation that they were going to maybe change the dates and the format this year. They're not changing the dates. The dates are going to remain the same. That means the dual team tournament is still going to be February 17th, Wednesday the 17th.
All right.
And the traditional individual tournament, the one that most people kind of care about and go to, will still be February 18th through the 20th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, February 18th through the 20th. The differences and the changes that have been made is there's going to be a limited number of tickets available to allow for social distancing. The association said at a statement this afternoon, 4,000 tickets will be available per session. Those seats will be reserved in blocks. And the association also said ticket prices will be increased to offset the limited ticket sales. So there's going to be a limited number. So if you plan on going, right now, can't tell you exactly how to get the tickets because this just literally came out less than 30 minutes ago. So I jumped right on this as soon as I saw the announcement. So,
well, I appreciate that because we're a wrestling town. I don't care what those basketball players say.
And I know that. I know this is a wrestling hotbed, and I know people want to know that. So we jumped right on that. That's actually also, you can read an article on yourfortdodge.com on that, Mike, because while I was waiting to come over here, I was formulating that article. So yourfortdodge.com has that article too. If you're looking for tickets on that, I would go to the IHSAA website. If you just search that on Google, they may have some more information on that tonight or tomorrow about how to get tickets, or maybe look at Wells Fargo Arena to see if they have tickets available for it yet on the internet there. So just know that there's going to be a limited number of 4,000 per session, which is a very limited number in comparison. The total average, Mike, for the 4 days of the tournament, when you count the team and then you count the individual tournament, they said was around 80,000 people per year. So you're looking at, a major slash in that. So if you're planning on going this year, you need to jump on that as soon as tickets become available so that you make sure that you get in there, and they're going to have reserved blocks there. So that is kind of the news that's come out from there. But the dates themselves are going to remain the same. Again, the dual team tournament's going to be on February 17th. Then the 18th, 19th, and 20th will be the individual tournament, and we will have the individual tournament on the radio on Sunday 99.7.
That's working for
on
me.
the
Who's going to be
18th,
doing
19th, and 20th. I can't say right now because I'm still working on that end of it. I've got to follow up with some people before I can give you the announcement. We will be making some announcements about that, though, in the very near future about who's going to be doing what for us in terms of wrestling and all that. We're steadily working that out, and we've got another major announcement that'll be coming regarding the February 13th district tournament at Fort Dodge. We will have that on the radio. We're going to have postseason wrestling starting Saturday, February 6th, and then we'll follow it all the way through state, just like we did last year, Mike. So February is going to be a busy time, going to be a really exciting time for wrestling fans, and we plan to have you covered.
You know, I've done a lot of wrestling. I'm not looking for the job, by the way, because I would refuse it.
Because I think I asked you last year, actually, and you did refuse it.
I think so. But anyway, Matt Bemrick and I went over and did the class, the St. Edmund kids, whatever class they're in.
Class 1A.
That's what I thought, 1A. We went over to Manson. We're there all day. And, I enjoyed it. But it's just as COVID has changed our lives so much. Can you believe this?
True, it has. And speaking of Manson, they are hosting a 1A sectional on February 6th and at Manson Northwest Webster, and we will have that on the radio for you. We'll be making an announcement about where you can find that. St. Edmund on February 6th is at Ogden for the 1A sectional, as is East Sac County and South Central Calhoun will also be there, and I think West Bend Mallard off the top of my head will all be there at Ogden. We'll have that on the radio for you as well, and we'll be making announcements on where you can find that and listen to all that coverage.
Well, the world has changed, but back when farm work was done by hand, the coaches went and looked for the farm boys to wrestle.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I wrestled this kid one time when I was in school. I was a town kid, and he came off the farm. He didn't know anything about wrestling, but he was so strong.
Tied you in a knot.
He just, I'd actually get him on his back, and he'd look at me like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he'd just get up, he'd just get up and throw me down. And he finally threw me down for the third or fourth time, and by that time I said, "All right, okay."
Yeah, he'd been wrestling hogs before he got there to wrestle you.
Great big hands, he'd glom on you, and that was it.
That was all she wrote.
Yeah,
huh? Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: football coaches love wrestlers too, guys that wrestle. I mean, you look at most of Iowa's offensive linemen, Kirk Ferentz, like he recruits offensive linemen who are also wrestlers. Like there's an advantage to that too.
Well, when I was in school, some of the farm kids couldn't play football in the fall because they were out helping with harvest. But the coach would come to them and say, "You don't have to practice. You just get out there in the field and you find the guy with the ball and hit him." And they were fast too. They were just, they were just hard as rocks and pretty fast. And that was some fun stuff. So you'd see these farm kids out there running all over the place. They'd find the kid with the ball.
And back
they'd
then,
hammer him.
Back then, the game was a lot simpler too. You really didn't have to read the field. It was pretty much we're going to line up and run the ball.
That's right.
So it was a little easier to tell a guy, hey, look for the ball, see the ball, hit the guy with the ball. Like that was kind of how the game was played. What we would call, where I come from, football in a phone booth.
Those were fun days. And I go to games today. I enjoy them just as much.
Yeah.
The level of play and the coaching has gotten a lot better. I think.
Yeah, the sophistication of the systems and stuff now, especially at the high school level. When I was a player less than 20 years ago, the high school I played at, we were really good in South Carolina, Daniel High School, traditional power down there, but we ran the ball all the time. Well, I played for a coach that was legendary. He was old school. He believed that, the old theory of when you threw the ball, three things could happen. Two of them were bad. And if you didn't stop our run, we weren't going to throw the ball. Like we threw the ball probably 5 times a game. Now you look forward and you see these teams that throw the ball, that spread it out. We were I formation, straight downhill, smash mouth, run the ball, and throw it when we had to. And I remember one game, Mike, in the playoffs, we won a game where we threw it 5 times, and 2 times we threw it for touchdowns because we lulled them to sleep. They didn't think we were going to throw it.
do you know where that phrase came from? 2 out of 3 things are bad.
Woody Hayes.
Woody Hayes, Ohio State. The reporters were bugging him. Why don't you ever throw the ball? Why don't you ever throw the ball? He just looked at him and said, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen. It's a reception, an interception, or an incomplete pass, and 2 of those things are bad. So I'll continue to do what I've been doing because I've been doing it and winning games, and you guys are still, reporters.
He had a point. You could still win at that point. The game was starting to change, though, because you had guys like Hayden Fry in the Big Ten, and Iowa was throwing the ball.
Sure.
When that was kind of a new thing, to line up and throw the ball deep and that kind of thing. So it was kind of a different era at that time. And
sure it was.
You know that Woody Hayes' last game was against Clemson, right?
Oh, yeah, the famous.
Yeah, the famous throat punch.
He kicked, the throat punch. Charlie, what was it? The Clemson player's name? Charlie was his first name, and I can't remember what his name.
Oh, I know who it is, and I'm drawing a blank on it.
But to Charlie's credit, that was a pretty good throat punch by Woody. I mean,
it was well placed.
Yes, it was.
If you think about how the guy had the helmet on, like where you would have to hit him for him to be vulnerable with the pads in the helmet, Woody knew exactly where to hit him. I mean, he hit him in a place that was open. It was well placed in that regard. Still terrible, and everybody down there still hates him for that.
There was no reason for that at all.
No, that's never part of the game. Never should be part of the game.
But to the Clemson player's credit, he never complained a bit. He never. That's just all right. That happened. And Woody Hayes was in the. And this is one more reason for me to hate Ohio State. He was never. He was unapologetic completely. And when they were moved to fire him because they had to, the Ohio State administration, he told him, "I'm not going to make it easy for you." I said, "Jesus, you're the guy in the wrong here, man.
You punched somebody during a game
on national television."
Yeah, for no reason. The guy didn't punch you first or anything.
No, he intercepted a pass. Excuse me.
That's it.
All right. Well, Rob, I'm glad you brought that news over here.
Yeah,
I think you and Barb downstairs live in this building somewhere. I really
to credit to her, she really does, because I see Barb at some really odd times.
Oh, I see her car out here on Saturday and Sunday sometimes.
Yeah, she really does, and bless her heart, because I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad here, but
no,
I was born in a different decade than Barb. Let's just say that.
Very few people Barb's age are still alive.
I wasn't gonna go there.
I know there you
but
are.
like that's like the respect I have because of her work ethic at that age. Like, I will never be able to do that when I get to that point, Mike.
Rob Jones, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
This is AM 1400 KBFT.
Ready to make 2021 the year you meet people who love to do the same things you do?
Making pizza with someone who's as into it as me? What could be better?